Shields up, Ironbreakers. Burkan here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter World, and in this video I'm going to be doing a quick recap of everything that was talked about in the 6th Developer Diary. There's already a longer format video on the channel where I go over pretty much the entirety of the presentation, and then I talk in greater detail about the things that I consider to be the most important, but that is 1 hour long, and I know that not everybody's going to want to watch a 1 hour long video, so I'm going to be doing this shorter one here, so let's get started. Naturally, they started the presentation by talking about Alatreon, because he's the big baddie that's going to be showing up on the 9th of July when that update hits. And one of the things they said that I thought was interesting is that with each element, because Alatreon kind of swaps between different elements, you know, fire, dragon, and ice are represented in this image. And as he swaps between the different elements, you know, everybody expected, you know, its attacks and appearance is going to change. What I personally didn't expect is that its weak points are also all going to change. So depending on the element that is currently active, you're going to have to attack different parts of his body. That looks like it's going to be an interesting mechanic. Let's see how frustrating that is going to get. Also, as far as I'm aware, there's been no official confirmation as to whether this is going to be a siege type event that is actually going to require, is going to be balanced around 4 players, or if it is an event that is going to be soloable. We don't know. I suspect that it's going to be soloable, but at this point, I don't know. If you guys know any information, or did you find any information maybe in the Japanese channel or something like that, leave it in the comment section down below, and I will do an update video when we know more about this particular encounter. But anyways, continuing onwards beyond this, he has a very special attack that is going to completely and utterly destroy you. Like, this was shown in the live stream, and basically it took out 2 full health gauges. Like, the dude was about to die, popped the max potion, and it took out another health gauge. He was full health when the attack began. So it goes down twice, 2 entire health gauges in one attack. And I was like, holy crap. The name of that is Eschaton. I thought it was Escalation Judgment, but it's Eschaton Judgment, whatever. Basically that particular attack is going to destroy you unless you weaken that Eschaton Judgment, whatever, with elemental attacks. So this means that you're going to need to use strong elemental weapons in order to mitigate the damage that is going to be coming from that super beastly attack that he does when he swaps elements. That is interesting in a way and not so interesting in another way, because, like, for instance, I play a Gunlance. Gunlance, not that great with elements in general, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be dealing with this. We shall see. I'm already looking into Gunlances that I can do that can focus on elemental damage, but it's not looking too good. Might have to bring out the Sword and Shield to deal with this, or maybe even the Charge Blade, because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a Gunlance main, but I play anything that's got a shield, you know, so that's my excuse. We'll see how that pans out, but it definitely looks like you'll have to be playing around a lot with elements. As a matter of fact, they were even talking about that you could potentially form a team around it with everyone being able to deal with one of the elements or something like that. So maybe there's even a case where his weaknesses change. Not the weakness points, but like his actual elemental weaknesses change depending on the element. I don't know. We'll have to see how that pans out, but it's definitely going to be an interesting thing to tackle when the time comes. Or maybe it'll just be frustrating. We don't know at this point. Then they showed us a little bit of Alatreon's armor. This is what the female armor looks like. This is what the male armor looks like. I have some better renders that I looked up in the Japanese account. I haven't seen the ones for Frostfang Barioth being posted here yet, so I don't know. But here's what, I don't know if this is the alpha or the beta, but, you know, here's the male version. The female version, this thing back here is either a greatsword or a longsword, not entirely sure. And in this one, maybe a switch axe, a bowgun, I don't know. Then on here, again, this definitely looks, to me, it looks more like a longsword. I don't know. People were saying it's a greatsword. I don't know. This is definitely a charge blade, though. So there you go. This is what the 2 armors look like. They look pretty damn sweet, if you ask me. So yeah, those are the 2 Alatreon armors. And here is what your Palico is going to be looking like as well. Now, they also talked about the special set bonus from the Alatreon set. And I gotta say, I personally don't find it particularly impressive, and I'll tell you guys why. So what this set bonus is going to do is your weapon's elemental power is going to increase based around the elemental resistances of your armor. For starters, I think that this is not a particularly good example, because as you can see here, it says that your elemental armor, your elemental resistance versus dragon damage is 35, and in the other side it's 35 as well. So it's they said that this was going to be, oh, as you increase the resistance, that element is going to increase as well. So I'm not sure if it's just based around dragon. Probably not. It's going to be based around all of your resistances. But basically, here's the problem that I have with this, right? This weapon has 770 dragon elemental damage. This is actually, I think, Alatreon's greatsword. Yeah, you can see it right here. Rion's greatsword. It's Alatreon's greatsword, right? It's got 770 elemental damage, right? And once you do all the work to increase your elemental defenses to this, which, whew, good luck with that. Good luck with that, son. Going from here to here, I have no idea. Like, what is this, a food buff? Because, like, getting an armor that's got positive resistances to everything is going to be a complete nightmare. But here's the thing. Trying to get from here to here is going to be quite the task in terms of, like, you know, mix matching your armor sets to get this type of resistances. And they're like, okay, so what kind of benefit do we get from this? You got 810 elemental dragon element. And you're like, well, back here is 770. That's 40. That's 40 dragon element. 40 dragon element, dude. Which, by the way, if you guys know how the calculation of damage works and all that, 40 dragon element is more like 4 dragon element. So that, it's not that much. It's not that much, especially if you take into consideration the amount of sacrifices you'll have to make to get all of these resistances up to where they are, which anybody who's ever paid attention to the resistances on their gear is going to know, like, dude, getting resistances like that, I have no idea how you're going to do that. But if you go that hard on that elemental resistances to get 40 dragon elements, it's like, no, dude, forget about it. So yeah, we don't know how much of a big deal this is going to be. We'll have to actually see in the game itself. We're going to need Jinjinx and Tuna up in here to do the math on this stuff if they find the time, because I know that they've been having a tough time with their channel and motivation and whatnot. And guys, I love the two of you. So if you want to keep up with the good work, keep up with the good work. If you want to do something else, just do something else. Don't feel forced to just do math for the rest of your lives, okay? But anyway, it would be interesting to know whether or not this set bonus is going to be worth it. Right now, it just feels like it's going to be more of a gimmicky type situation, and not a lot of people are realistically going to take this seriously. Even though in the live stream they called this a game changer, and I'm like, yeah, when I looked at it after they finished the live stream, I was like, no, not really. Anyway, they then showed us the next monster, which I had said it was going to be the Frozen Barioth. Looks like no. Looks like they're not going to be taking something from another title, which was Monster Hunter Explore, whatever it was. They're instead creating a new type variant, which is called the Frostfang Barioth. Now, this is going to be an event type monster. So this is not going to be a monster that you can hunt whenever you want. You can only hunt it whenever the event is around, and you can only hunt him when he's tempered. So there's no normal version of this monster. He just shows up, he's an event, and he is tempered every single time. It looks like he's going to have a lot more breath attacks, a lot more stuff to kind of freeze you with, and it didn't seem like he was going to have as much of that annoying stuff that Barioth tends to do, just like jump around, spin around all over the place, and jump left and jump right, and you're just like standing there watching Barioth like, wee, wee, wee. It doesn't look like this one's going to do that as much. He's more going to focus on breath attacks and stuff like, he's got you know that breath that Velkhana does that kind of slows you down? He's got something like that going for him. They showed us his armor, which you can see here, the male version, which looks pretty friggin' sweet, by the way, I might add. I like the Alatreon set. This set also looks pretty damn sweet. And then there's the female version right there. I don't know if these are alpha or beta, what the deal is with that. Maybe it doesn't even have an alpha and a beta. Maybe it's just like one armor set and that's that. But either way, these are his armor sets. You guys might be wondering, so what's the deal with his set bonus? Well, the Frostfang Barioth set bonus is actually quite interesting because you're going to get Punishing Draw with one piece. You only need one piece of Frostfang Barioth armor to get Punishing Draw, which is pretty damn good for Greatsword mains out there that are running Crit Draw Greatsword. You can just get Punishing Draw, boom, off the bat. If, however, you do enjoy the pieces from Frostfang Barioth, if you get 3 of them, you get Slugger Secret. So you get Punishing Draw and Slugger Secret for 3 pieces of Frostfang Barioth. So I can see a lot of Hammer mains out there being super satisfied about this. Maybe, I don't know, depends on how much more powerful the skills in this set are going to be versus the, which one is it that's got Slugger Secret? Diablos, I think. So it all depends on, you know, whether or not these are going to be good for hammers, but I can tell you right now that that Punishing Draw skill is a very interesting thing because you just need one piece of armor. Just one piece of armor, boom, punishing draw. I can see a lot of weapons making use of that. So that's an interesting thing. That, to me, is more of a game changer than Alatreon's set bonus. Maybe I'll eat my words. Hopefully I will, because I'd like Alatreon set bonus to be more interesting, but we shall see what it's all about. Another thing that they announced is that you are going to be able to craft special tracks. This is basically the lures that you use in the guiding lands in order to lure out specific monsters. So you'll be able to get materials that you probably get from the guiding lands and combine those into a lure that you can then use to lure specific monsters. So if you happen to need a specific monster in the guiding lands, you can get the lure this way because maybe you're not being lucky with the stuff that you're getting from just hunting in the guiding lands. And you guys might be like, oh, come on, everybody's got it. But to be honest, there's a couple of monsters that I don't have any, and I keep doing the guiding lands and I still don't have those monsters in there. I forgot which monster it was, but it was one of the monsters that I hunted into oblivion. It might have been Glavenus, because I always needed Glavenus materials for whatever reason. So I might have, no, I think it was Odogaron. Yeah, I hunted Odogaron into extinction because I needed his materials as well. So, you know, this way you'll be able to craft materials for whatever monster you want to hunt in the guiding lands, which is another nice little quality of life addition. So very quickly, the summary of the stuff that we talked about so far. There's more to come though. So this is just from what we've talked about so far. I'm going through the same order as the developer diary. New monster Alatreon has been added. It will be available after you finish the story of Iceborne and complete the Safi Jiva recon assignment. Frostfang Barioth has been added. It's an event quest, appears as a tempered monster. Additional system features, new melding options for creating analyzed special tracks. This is the lures for the monsters in the guiding lands like I talked about. New decor for your room in Celiana, new BGM for your room in Celiana, new designs for the squad card, and new pendants added. These are free pendants. They didn't specify which pendants they were, but I'm going to assume it's going to be a pendant from Alatreon most likely, because usually we tend to get pendants from those big monsters. Like we got pendants for like Kulfter Roth and stuff like that, and Raging Brachydios. So I'd expect it to be one for Alatreon. Then a couple of more adjustments. Increase the number of Screamer pods you obtain when combining Screamer sacks, which is useful because it always seems like I don't have any Screamer pods for whatever reason. Then again, I don't farm for them, but you know, they're increasing the number of those. Adjusted Steamworks reward items received when ending the minigame with one match. I think this means you're going to get more rewards whenever you finish the entirety of the Steamworks in one go, which makes sense because you should be more rewarded for doing that. The Raider Ride call icon now displays on the item bar sorting screen while you are in base. I guess it wasn't showing up. I never paid too much attention to it. Following charms have been added. Critical Draw 3, which is the Draw Charm 3. You get 3 critical draw for just the charm slot. Phoenix Charm 3, which basically gives you full coalescence for 1 charm slot, which is pretty damn good. I'm looking at that. I'm looking to get that eventually. I don't even know what I'm going to use it for, but I'm looking at it. And then Fitness Charm 5, that is Constitution level 5 on a charm, which, as most people said during my stream, is probably overkill, but hey, if you want to go for it, go for it. Other miscellaneous bug fixes have also been made, and because of the impact of the COOF, you know, some content in this update is going to feature limited voice dialogue in French, Italian, and Spanish. Just to be expected, COOF still making its presence felt throughout the community. Then they also showed us a bunch of paid DLC that you'll be able to get, and I'm not against it because, you know, just look at the amount of free content we're getting. Anyone that is seriously upset about them developing a little bit of paid DLC is just out of their freaking minds at this point. Like, I'm sorry, I will not even entertain the notion that Capcom is being too greedy with this game, okay? Compare this game to literally any other game that has come out in the last 5 years. And see how much value you're getting here compared to literally any other game that came out in the last 5 years. Just think about it. Probably even more than the last 5 years, but whatever. Anyways, the pendants that are going to be paid for: Gold Heavenly Dragon, Silver Heavenly Dragon, Ruby Crystal Knife, Amber Crystal Knife, Azure Crystal Knife. I don't know what these are. Phantom Azure Butterflies, Phantom Jade Butterflies. These are actually butterflies, follow your character around. Phantom Magenta Butterflies, Fulgur Bugs, and Dracophage Bugs. These are exactly what they sound like. There's an ogre bugs. They just kind of follow you around. Kind of like the balloon that you got for, what was his name? Was it Puke Puke? I think it was a Puke Puke inflatable balloon that they sold. Then there's decor sets for your room with a Poogie set, Feline set, Puke Puke set, and a Boa Boa set. All this stuff is paid for, and then a bunch of more monster figures. You guys can see here what those figures are. I don't want to read through all of it. I just want to say that basically they're gonna break my wallet with the Gajalakas. I'm a sucker for Gajalaka, so I'll probably buy the Gajalaka statue. Feels bad. I'm still waiting on that Seething Basil Goose statue because that's my favorite monster. That's the one I'll get. And then you get a bunch of jazz tracks if you want to get those for your room as well. There's one that I'm kind of interested in checking out, which is a day on Poke Farm. Looks like that would be kind of cool. But yeah, that's some of the paid content that you'll be getting. Then they talked about the Sizzling Spice Fest, which is basically kind of like a Brazilian carnival inspired festival, which you can see it's very colorful. This is what the festival armor is going to look like for the males, and I've already talked about this. I love that helmet. That helmet looks friggin' sweet. I expect this to work pretty much like it's worked in the past. So the way it goes is you get VIP tickets for logging in and for doing your like daily bounties. And then once you complete those, you probably have around 5 VIP tickets. You can use those to craft this armor, and then the armor is going to give you like a passive bonus that will allow you to collect VIP Sizzling Spice Fest tickets for just doing regular quests. And then with the VIP tickets, you'll be able to craft the layered armor. That's usually how it's been for every event, so I'd expect it to be the same in this case. Here's what the female armor looks like. She's got some sweet looking wings. She's got some glitter on her. It is, again, very much inspired by Carnival in Brazil. At least that's what I get from it. Here's what the handler is going to be looking like during the event as well. This is your Palico armor for the event. In case you guys are curious, it's going to be looking like a Puke Puke. Everything seems to be very centered around Puke Puke because it's one of the more colorful monsters. I wonder if there's going to be like a special event with Puke Puke. There has to be. I mean, this is like the Puke Puke festival pretty much. But this is what your Palico is going to look like. Oh, by the way, I didn't get like a shot of its weapon, but its weapon, for those of you who are familiar with Brazilian culture, is a vuvuzela. I mean, it's a bundle of vuvuzelas, actually, which were these things that they used during one of the World Cups that just made this unsufferable noise. And I don't know why you would want to celebrate that, but, you know, it is what it is. Then you got also a new custom for Poogie, which looks friggin' amazing. It's a Kuluyaku, and Poogie is like an egg. That is really, really cool, extremely creative. And this is one of the things that I always like, that I always say is, you can tell that the team working on this game, they friggin' love it. Look at the crazy creative stuff they come up with, which with such a minor thing. Like, this is, for those of you that don't play Monster, this is literally a pig that walks in your town. Doesn't do anything special. You can go up to him, you can pet him, whatever. Like, people used to have this myth that you would pet the pig and it would give you, you know, luck on your next hunt. That's not really confirmed, but either way, it's just like Poogie. It's just this pig that runs around your town, and look at the work that they did giving him this cool little model. They love this friggin' game, dude. Anyway, this is an update that they did for the snowman thing. This is what the snowman heads kind of look like. It looks a lot more tropical, you know, as is to be expected with the feathers. And then there's this ungodly abomination that you'll be able to get during that particular festival, which is the Kelby head. If for whatever reason you wanted to have a Kelby head, you can have a Kelby head. And continuing with the themes of why would you ever do this, you can get an Aptonoth head as well. Don't ask me. Don't ask me, dude. These are going to be some of the things that will be available during the festival. Now, this is cool. Mug-shaped dual blades, this is really cool. These were already in previous games, I believe, some of the mug-shaped stuff. But, you know, they're mugs and they're dual blades, and you can beat monsters up with these mugs. That's kind of cool. And then they're going to do a layered armor set that is basically going to allow your character to look like it's got no armor. So, you know, your au naturel. It's just whatever armor you had during the character creation, you'll look like that if you use that layered set. Then you got the rabbit ears here as well, which is another cosmetic thing. All of these are free, by the way. They're not paid for. All these are free. And then golden macaque head, which I already mentioned in previous videos. And here's like the very quick sum up of everything that we talked about. Handler's festive samba costume. It says here that it's paid, but during the event, most likely she'll be wearing it regardless. So you'll have access to it during the event. And then if you want to keep it, you have to pay for it. That's pretty much the way it's always been with handler costumes. And then a couple of major new additions. This is all for Iceborne. So, you know, Celiana's Lunar Terrace will hold the Sizzling Spice Fest. Lunar Terrace will get a visual makeover. Snowmen get a visual makeover. Sizzling Spice tickets and VIP Sizzling Spikes tickets to craft Passion Alpha Plus armor and other special equipment. Like I said, probably the layered version of the Passion Alpha Plus armor. Hunter Helper now randomly drops special rewards for master rank quests and expeditions. Bonus skills added to obtain special rewards more easily. I think this might just be the skills that you get on Passion Alpha Plus. If it's not that, then I don't know what it is. And then you also get new special equipment added, like some of the Palico stuff and, you know, all of this Kelby stuff and Aptonoth stuff. That's what they consider to be special equipment. There's probably going to be a couple of weapons as well that are going to be like, you know, fun looking weapons, not necessarily meta stuff. The following will be added upon joining the Celiana Fest. Research requests, new decor can be placed in your room for free. Guild card titles, backgrounds, and poses, special Poogie costume. The following are available only during Astera Celiana seasonal events, special items at the Steamworks, preview the handler special costumes, sales at all facilities, more login bonuses, and daily limited bounties. Like I always say, if you need to get decorations, like this is one of the best times to get decorations, is like make sure you stock up on as much natural fuel as you possibly can. Well, not natural fuel, but as much fuel items as you possibly can. And then during the event, you want to do Steamworks. And finally, here's the roadmap looking forward and a quick recap as to when we can expect all these things. Alatreon is going to be showing up on July 9th. The Astera Summer Twilight Fest thing and the Celiana Sizzling Spice Fest are going to be occurring during the 22nd of July until the 6th of August. Then we have Frostfang Barioth, which is going to be showing up on August 7th. So as soon as the festival ends, Frostfang Barioth shows up to pick up the slack. Like I said, he's going to be tempered, and he's going to be an event, and he's going to be available between the 7th and the 19th. So if you want to get Frostfang Barioth, that's when you need to go do it. And then we're going to be getting the 5th major title update, which is going to be available this fall. They say a returning monster. There's a lot of theories around this. One of the things that makes a lot of sense to me would be potentially Arch-Tempered Velkhana, even though that's not really something that I would like. What I would really like is Gore Magala, but I think that might be asking for too much. A properly implemented Gore Magala would be... It would not be easy if you want to like actually implement the virus and all that stuff, but that would be what I think I would really want. But I think Arch-Tempered Velkhana might be what we end up getting. And there's going to be naturally a new fest. Back in the last Monster Hunter, the fest that we got here was the Harvest Festival. So I'm not sure what's going to be coming this time around. And finally, during this festival is when you will have access to something that everybody's been asking for: Master Rank Layered Armor. That is when that is going to be coming in this fall. I know that probably most PC players already have this, but you know, for us that still play on a console, it's going to be really cool to be able to, you know, actually use Master Rank armor as layered. I know that I'm going to be rocking that seething Basil Goose armor like nobody's business. Not to mention, I was also reminded, dude, what about friggin' Bombaru, dude? That Bombaru set with that Viking helmet? You're goddamn right, I'm going to be doing that as well. And finally, that was pretty much all of the news that we got. So this was their final scene. Happy hunting. Hopefully this kind of updated you guys. I realize that this is probably longer than the actual thing, but I do go a little bit more in depth with some of the stuff that they talked about. So I just want to make sure I put a video out there giving guys all of the things that were talked about in this event. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did not enjoy it, hit the dislike button. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you usually enjoy my content, and if you want more Monster Hunter stuff, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and all of that jazz. I need to go and record a Souls in Chat 6. Otherwise, people are going to kill me because I'm slacking on that. But I've been really busy these past couple of days, okay? Don't judge me. And I'm getting my daughter baptized tomorrow. It's busy times. But anyways, stay strong, everybody. Stay safe out there in the world with all of the stuff that's happening nowadays. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace out.